Hi there, and welcome to this webinar, 10 Ways to Grow Your Business. My name is Sara Flay, as many of you will already know, and I'm the owner of New Perspective. You know, it's great when your business gets to the point where it's making consistent money and you are having, great opportunities within your business. But there comes a point in your business where you make a decision as to whether you want to stay as you are and continue making money at the same level, or whether you actually want to grow your business. And I've done this on a number of occasions within the businesses that I've had, where I've had to make a decision as to whether I wanted to grow or continue as I was. And me being me, I always wanted to grow. And so there are a number of things that you can do in order to help you grow your business without huge risk, without huge loss to your business, time or financially. And so I'm going to share those with you today. So we're going to head straight in. I'm not going to waste any time, and I'm going to start sharing those with you. All right, so one of the easiest ways to begin to broaden the business that you have and to work with the people that you work with is to be able to work with others. And the thing about working with other people is that they have a range of people that they already work with. They have customers and clients that possibly could become yours as well. And also, when you can offer more than one service in a package, it can become very interesting and of use to sort of the customers and clients that you have. So very often you will see people within the wedding industry, and they will bunch up together and they will come together with their products and services and put them together as a package, and that works extremely well. So for instance, I've seen it recently within the prom industry. So the prom dress company will work with a hairdresser and a beautician, and so you can buy your dress from there. You can hire the hairdresser and the nail technician to do all of that on the night, and also then as well, I've also seen it where they actually have limousine and car hire companies that also work with them. So when you go in, the first thing when you go for your prom is your dress. So you go to the dress shop, and there you can then pick up all these other services. Now what then happens is the person in the prom shop will get a little cut of the money that they make from the other services. So it works all different ways, and you can work all of that out. But collaboration is a great way to don't do any more than what you're currently doing, but do it with different people. So by finding people that complement your business who want to also grow, you can come together, merge what you do, create packages, and possibly find new clients as well as sell to your existing clients. That is a really great way of moving your business forward without doing any more work than you're currently doing, because you offer the same type of thing, but you do it with somebody else who also has new opportunities. And then what I would say is one of the best ways to grow your business is look at what you do well. What is it? What's your best seller in your business? What is it? What product or service is it that people can't seem to get enough of? And can you expand on that? Can you do more with it? So for instance, if you have as a business coach, if I have a 7-day program that people seem to love on fixing their business, and in that 7 days they pay say £69, and in 7 days they have lots of tips on how to move their business forward in terms of fixing little problems within their business and getting them back on the right track. If I know that that is one of my best selling products, maybe then I could do a 30-day coaching program where then we look at more in depth. They get me as their coach, so I'm around on a Facebook group and all things like that where I can offer input and services, and also we can have webinars where I can troubleshoot their problems and all things like that. So think about what it is that you're currently seeing real progress in, real growth in, what people really need and want from you and they can't stop buying it, and actually do more around the same theme. So offer different ways of packaging that up with more in-depth, more knowledge, or maybe, putting bigger products with it. Maybe looking at, if you've got a product-based business, getting something that is very similar, on the similar lines to what they can't get enough of, and start promoting and selling that to your clients. Okay, And then you have your existing customers. And your existing customers are your magic customers. They literally are. Because there is nothing better than an existing customer who has already bought from you. You already know they love what you do. And actually what you can then do is sell more to them. So if you have a client who has bought 100 cupcakes from you for a trade show, so they were a corporate client, you could then send them some vouchers and get them to come in and buy for other occasions. So for instance, you could write them a little article in a newsletter and say to them how, rewarding your staff for great work can be, can increase productivity. And you'll find all of this information on the internet. There's statistics coming out of the years on the internet, and look at how you can encourage them to perhaps say well done to their staff and send them all cupcakes. And again, you could be, getting repeat custom. You could always keep up with, especially if you've got corporate clients, keep up with things that they're doing in the media. So keep an eye on their websites and on their news sections, because if they win awards and all things like that, send them a greetings card and say to them, well done, congratulations, why not come in and celebrate with a nice big cake, and all things like that. Think about your clients and think about how you can reach them and sell more to them. What are they enjoying from you, and how can you give them more without being buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Normally you need to look for something that you can, congratulate them on, or something that you can say, look, I saw this article and I was thinking of you, and send all of that. Keep yourself on their radar so that they will then come back to you. And special offers and promotions, and come in with a voucher, get a free cup of coffee with a slice of cake, and all things like that are great ways to get people buying repeat custom from you. And the other thing that is really important about growing your business is about getting yourself out there. I always say this in all of my webinars actually, that being out and about amongst your clients and customers is extremely important. Not just out and about, it is also on the internet as well. There are forums and groups and social networks where people who you would ideally sell to would be. And it's about you finding out, where do your customers hang out? Where are they? Where will you find them, so that you can get out there and you can converse with them, you can build a relationship with them. If you sell products or services to women specifically, where do the women tend to be? Are there women's networking groups in your area? Are there social opportunities with women? Is there a Business Women's Awards that you can go to? Are there Facebook groups that are specifically for women? Oh, my computer wants to restart. Let me get it to restart in a little bit. There we go. Oh, the joys of technology. Hey, you can just excuse that for 1 minute. All right, so getting out there. Being amongst your ideal clients, because when you're out there amongst them, you can offer them advice, free tips, a little bit of information that will establish you as the person that they would go to for information for whatever it is they need. So if you are a cupcake seller, are there local trade events that you could go to? Are there local, craft fairs? Are there local business opportunities? Schools, can you go into schools and show them how to make cakes? Can you work with kids? Take a little bit out of your time, but then perhaps, you could trade off then with a school that maybe they would allow you to bring in a load of flyers that the kids can then take home to their parents at the end of the day. So you're exchanging your time for possibly then the opportunity to advertise to all of those parents who, every single one of those kids in that class has at least, one occasion where they would need a birthday cake. So just the child alone is one potential customer from the parent, but then they may have, parents who have anniversaries, who, want special cakes or christenings or whatever it is. They are so great at finding opportunities just by one little bit of promotion, which is being in the school. And there are loads of ways that you as a business owner can do that, and it's about you thinking about where your clients are and how do you then begin to mix with them. So without more technological interruption, let's head over to money making tasks. So your business fundamentally has to be about making money. Otherwise, you've got a hobby. So if you've listened to any of my other presentations this week, then the money making task comes up in everything, because it's vital to your business. If you don't make money, you don't have a business. It's as simple as that. It either becomes a social enterprise or a hobby, one of the two. So if you want to set yourself apart and you want to establish yourself as a business owner with money making tasks at the forefront of what you do, so every single day the important tasks are those which will allow you to make money. And also, even more important than that, I need you to ask yourself right now, how many invoices for work that you've done have you currently got outstanding? Because if you've done the work, if you've produced the product but you haven't been paid, you are leaving money sitting outside of your business that could be in your cash flow and helping you to grow the business that you really want. So you should keep on top of your invoices, and if you haven't got time to do that, outsource it, for goodness sake. Find yourself a great VA or a PA and outsource that invoicing to them, so that they can then keep on top of chasing invoices and getting payments. They'll send the invoice, they'll chase the invoice, they'll make sure the invoice is in your bank account paid, and that is worth every single penny. And they're not expensive to use. Just even for that task in your business, most VAs wouldn't even charge, they charge such a minimal amount per invoice that, the value of getting that money in is far more important to you. But also, don't forget that you need to market yourself consistently. Your message needs to go out there consistently so that people know you exist. You have to stay at the front of people's minds. So when people get into difficulties with their business and they feel like giving up, I have to be there at the front of their mind. They have to have seen a Facebook update from me or a newsletter update that is encouraging them to, really push through and grow their business and succeed, that they can do it. So that if they think, oh, do you know what, I'm done with this, I just need some help and I don't know where to turn, they'll automatically think, oh, do you remember that silly monkey photograph which told me, this is what a general business owner looks like on a bad day, and just silly things like that will make people remember who I am and come back to me when they need me. Money making tasks is all about building a consistency in your marketing and in getting your message out there so that you get a consistency in your cash flow. So when times are good, don't give up on the money making tasks. Keep doing them, because do you know what? There comes a time where if you stop doing it, the work will dry up. And it's absolutely vital that everything you do, the first things you do in your business in the day, shouldn't be checking your emails, shouldn't be updating Facebook. It should be about focusing on, what do I need to do today to get my message out there. Updating your Facebook is extremely important as a business owner, but if your business clients aren't on Facebook, then, do you really need to be on there? It's something that we'll cover again in social media, but it's extremely important to understand that you need to be on the platforms where your ideal clients are and not worry too much about being on all of them. Better to be on a few and do it well than to be on all of them and don't do it at all. So focus on the tasks that are going to bring money into your business, not necessarily tasks that constantly make money. Alright, so outsourcing time draining tasks. Now, I was the world's worst at this, because I always thought to myself, well, if I haven't currently got the clients that I need in order to afford somebody to do my admin and my invoicing and my social media and all things like that, then how do I know that at the end of the month when they bill me, then I can afford them? And all I had to do was talk to a PA, and I have a great PA. She's lovely. Monica from No Problem PA. I absolutely adore her. And I had to talk to her and say, look, this is my concern. And she then said, look, it's fine. We can put a budget in place. I can tell you how much, this package costs and this package costs, and you can decide what you need right now, and we'll grow it as your business grows. If you talk to a PA, they should be able to tell you what they can provide, how much it costs, when they would do it, and you wouldn't have any dramatic stress at the end of the month paying their bills. But it frees up your time. How much do you earn an hour? Or how much would you even like to earn an hour? I guarantee you that a PA will charge you far less than what you would like to earn an hour in order to give you your time back. because you can't get your time back. Once your time is gone, once now this moment is gone, it's gone and I can't get it back. So think about, as I said, you need to be doing the tasks that are making you money. So if you're needing to be out there doing your coaching and making your cakes and, creating your wood statues and, metalwork, whatever it is you do out there, if you have a company that delivers a service, but somebody else can deliver it for you, you need to think about that as well. What can you do to grow your business? And looking at outsourcing is one of the easiest ways to grow your business because it frees up your time and allows you to do more. And then we're going to look at tightening up your niche. I love this picture because for me, this little model is my clients, is my target market, my ideal client, and it is about tightening the grip. Not on them as a person, because that would just be weird, but tightening up your niche, tightening up on who you ideally work with. So who is it? There are VAs and PAs out there, and they have specific groups of people who they work with. Now, some of the best VAs and PAs are people who have a real tight grip on the people they work with. So, for instance, if you are a PA who works with busy mums, you understand that, we forget to send you the latest email updates because, Sammy had their Christmas concert and it all got a bit chaotic and they had a breakdown on the stage, and then you were inconsolable because they were inconsolable, and when you got home you totally forgot to send the email. That kind of PA is invaluable because they will just send you a quick prompt to say, you know what, just for you to remember, you've got to send me that update. If you have a VA who doesn't necessarily understand the stresses of being a mum and a business owner, then they'd be like, where's the update? And then you're thinking, well, how do I explain all of this drama, which really is insignificant in everybody else's world, but was enough to reduce me to tears because my child was distraught on the stage. It's important that the people that you work with are the people you love working with. So I have my ideal clients. My ideal clients are business people who they really want to succeed and they have the big picture and they have the goal in mind, but they get frustrated and they lose motivation, and sometimes they just think, oh, how am I ever going to make this work? And I love coming in, and I'm only 5'1.5", but sometimes I feel like I'm, big mama coming in and just going, come on, you can do it, and this is how we make changes, and I'm going to make you accountable because accountability is going to drive you to get the results that you want, and just rah in their business. And before you know it, they gain the confidence they need, their self-esteem and their hope back, and they begin to really pursue the business that they want. And that's my ideal client. Somebody who feels like giving up, but with just a little bit of tweaking, their business will be amazing. And so knowing who you want to work with and who your ideal client is vital for you to be able to grow as a business. And there's my social media. That is my vision of social media. How awesome is that? Because it's a social platform. And I don't know about you, but I don't go out and socialize with my friends and go, you need to buy my coaching program, you need to go on my Facebook page, you need to do this, you need to do that. A lot of the time, actually, when I'm socializing with friends, will be just general chit chat, and I'll be saying about how the boys are getting on in school and how tired I am and my feet are aching and I could do with a girly holiday, and all of these little things. And actually then they come into the conversation and would say, oh, by the way, I've got a friend who's starting a business, and I wondered whether you could help them. Oh yeah, here's my business card, pass on my details, get them to get in touch with me. In a social situation, that happens so often. Recently a group of friends with all of their kids, we ended up at the park together, and the kids were kicking the football around, and one of the mums, she runs a support group for parents with disabilities, and we just got chatting, and before you know it, I was sort of reeling off loads of ideas about how she could make her working day with these parents and spend more time with the parents and less time with all the admin stuff, and how to tighten things up. I mean, she didn't know anything about things like MailChimp and all stuff like that. So we got into a conversation, and it's as simple as that. So with social media, be social, work out where your clients are on your social media, And then from there, I need you to then start to get the message out and build relationships. Not all about buy my stuff, buy my stuff. And if you want to grow your business, you need to become more sociable, because this is where people are now, and this is where people are looking for business and to buy services on social media. Don't think you have to be an expert in every single area of social media. Pick the ones where your clients are and do more of what you know they want, and help them and give them advice and tips on there, which will build a following and ultimately convert them to becoming a customer. So that's my tips on social media. Okay, and now we're going to look at testimonials, and testimonials actually is the biggest best friend you'll have to grow in your business, because how many times have you had a recommendation from a friend or somebody in the schoolyard, or somebody you've met at a business network, anywhere? Think anywhere, it doesn't matter where you've been, where people have recommended to you a restaurant or a film or a product. Women, we do it all the time with skincare and things like that. People will say to us, oh, you've got to try this, latest foundation, or, this hairdresser, oh, she was amazing. She just, she didn't just cut my hair. She talked to me and she consulted with me before she did it. And often we will go to places that people recommend. And I've done it. A friend of mine recently recommended to me a cheese. Now, I love cheese, but I only like sort of the hard cheeses, the cheddars and all things like that. I'm not a soft, you know, bluey, veiny, gone off cheese, which is how I look at it. But, most people love those kind of cheeses, but not me. Now, she recommended to me a cheese that had like a spice on the outside of it. And, that recommendation was enough that the next time I was in the supermarket and I saw the brand, I picked up a small piece of it and came home and tried it. Now, it's become one of my favourite cheeses now. Same with restaurants. People say to me, oh, go try this Indian restaurant in town, and, it's new and it's lovely. And all right, okay, so we went and tried it, and now it's become our favourite place, and we go there for meals, but we also go there for takeaways as well. There are so many things out there that we get recommendations from, and how often do we question those recommendations before we go give it a try? And it's exactly the same in your business with testimonials, because when somebody gives you a recommendation, other people will sit up and listen. And I was at an event just over half a year ago now, and I was at an event, and I was actually hosting the event. And many of my clients were actually there as part of the networking. And one of my clients, it was me giving the 10-minute presentation at the networking event, and I did it on 10 reasons why your networking doesn't work and how to change that. And for me, it was a great experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But then at the end of it, my client gets up and tells all of the 30 businesses in the room about how, after having one coaching session with me, they were earning £10 a week and sleeping on the floor of their workshop, and 3 months later they picked up a £150,000 contract. Everybody in the room then began to really take me seriously. They were like, oh, right, okay, because people had known me in the network for a long time, and most of them had known me as a gift company owner. I was in the process of moving over to becoming a business coach, and a lot of them were like, oh, she's just dabbling, and she's just trying to make money, or like the big boys are doing. And actually people didn't take me very seriously until this guy got up and said what he said. And then other people were saying the same thing about me. Now, that day, I was actually exhibiting at a trade show in the same building, and the breakfast was part of the networking event, and then part of the trade show. It was amazing how many of those people at that networking breakfast then came onto my trade stand and started having conversations with me about the benefits of coaching. Testimonials are a huge and valid part of your business. And I need you right now to think about all the people you've already worked with, the people that have bought from you. If you have an e-commerce online site, then you probably have all of their contact details, because they probably will have registered with you. And most of you will have some type of contact detail for your clients, whether it be email, phone number, address. How hard is it go and ask them to give you a testimonial if they've had great service or they've had a great product from you. It's not. They'll be more than willing. My coaches recently asked me for some testimonials. I more than gladly shared because they've been phenomenal to me in helping me establish my business and grow it very quickly. So testimonials are huge, and they will allow people to select working with you and buying your products without them even having to think about it. So get your clients, first of all, get your clients and customers to give you the testimonials. Make sure you get permission to use them. Get some on your website, get them on any of your advertising material, use them on your Facebook page. Don't kill people with them, but drop them in every now and again. If a client emails you and sends you a lovely testimony or a thank you, just pop it onto your Facebook page. I had this lovely message this morning when I checked my emails, and pop it on and sort of show people what people are saying about you. That is a really, really great way to build your business without having to spend a penny. So I challenge you to go back over your customers and clients and go and ask them to give testimonials for you. And then goal setting. So we've looked at growing your business, and I've given you lots of little tips about growing your business and little ways that you can begin to do it without taking a huge amount of risk. But what I would say to you is that you have to have your goals in mind when you do all of this. Ultimately, whatever the long-term goal is, keep those goals in mind when you are making decisions and partnering up with people you can work with and using your social media, because ultimately you need to get to that goal. That's what you want to get to, and the quicker you get to it, the quicker you realize your goal. It's not always about speed, but it's about always heading in the right direction towards the goal. Now, what I would say is that the goals ultimately are out there. They're in the future. And you need to make little goals right now, mini goal setting, in order to be able to get to those big goals. So what's next for you? Because you obviously want to grow your business, because you wouldn't otherwise be on this webinar. So where do you want to go next? There's no point sitting there right now going, I don't know. I just want to grow. I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know who, I just want to grow. That is never going to get you anywhere. You're never going to grow because you're just never going to know what you want to achieve. What would you like to do right now? If I had my magic wand, and I carry my magic wand on a regular basis because I like to wave magic wands, I always say to my clients, if anything was achievable, if the sky was a limit right now, what would you do next? And more often than not, when they get past the limitations, the barriers, the cash flow, the circumstances, and everything else that seems to be standing in their way, ultimately they can make decisions. And that's what I want you to think about right now. If I wave my magic wand right now and move all of your barriers out the way and all of your limitations, what's next for you and your business? What do you want to do? Because recently I had this little epiphany. And this is why I ended up selling the companies that I had. I'd already sold a few of them off because I knew that I wanted to focus more on coaching. But the big one, the gift company, was still there, and it was still ticking along and it was running. But my heart wasn't in it. And I'd spoken to my coaches and they were like, come on, Sarah, be realistic. Your heart's not in it. And, it's never going to grow to a humongous size if your heart's not in, your passion's not in it. If your passion is in coaching, pursue that. And I sat on my birthday, and the blog updates on my website if you want to read it all, and I sat there on my birthday thinking, what on earth am I doing? Is that gift company going to get me to where my goals are, where I ultimately want to be? I want to be able to own my own home and have a portfolio of houses. My dream is to have my own home that is paid for outright, that no mortgage, and that I can help my children who both want to set up businesses, and they're going to need a good whack of money to start their businesses, because trust them not to pick anything that was remotely simple to start. They both want to start businesses that need equipment, that need premises, that need products and training and all types of things. So I want to be able to help them. I want to get them on the rung of the ladder. I want to give them that boost that I never had financially. I had all the support in the world from my parents, and they were great at helping me to realize my goals, but financially they just didn't have the money to help me. If they had, they would have helped me, but they didn't have the money to help me. And I know when my dad passed away a number of years ago, my dad left me some money that allowed me to invest in my business and grow it, and got my business to where it was meant to be. But ultimately now, I want to be in a position where I don't have to look at the bank account as to whether, I can afford things. I don't want to be in a position where I'm having to worry about mortgage payments. I want to be able to build a portfolio of property, and I want to be able to help my children launch their futures in a couple of years' time. All of that is a goal that ultimately means financial independence. That's what I label it as. So how do I get there? I get there by working with the people that I love working with the passion that I have and the motivation, and charging what I'm worth. And that's really important. Whatever it is that's important for you, you now need to think of. So take your magic wand and wave it. Remove your barriers. What's next for you and your business? So, I've covered all of those 10 ways that you can now grow your business, and hopefully you've gained some insight and some tips on how to do that and how to go forward. If you would like more help, then please use the resources on my website. If you've been listening to my series of webinars, then you've already heard this before, but there are resources on there for business owners, for startup businesses. There is a blog that is updated, and soon we're going to be having guest blogs on there as well about all different things to do with business. But my little hub, my special place, is my Facebook page. Come over to my Facebook page and join me. Ask questions. If you've got questions about this webinar that you've just listened to, get them over on my website, onto my Facebook page, sorry. You can email me on the website. That's no problem at all, and I can get back to you. But if you want me to take a look at some problems you're having or questions you've got, then come over to Facebook, and you'll need to look for New Perspective Biz. Make sure you add the biz, otherwise you'll end up on a Japanese site and will never understand a word of what they're telling you unless you speak Japanese. And if you do, I'm very jealous, because I would love to be able to speak lots of languages. So ultimately, hopefully I've given you 10 ways for you to grow your business without huge risk, without huge investment, so that you can begin to see a different way of running your business and doing what you do. I am here for you. If you would like some help and support, use my website, my Facebook page, and hopefully I'll be running another one of these webinars soon, and I'll let you know. So thanks very much for listening, and I'll see you over on Facebook. Bye.